Tim.
Hey, man, what is going on?
You tell me, man? We got this fog.
We got this fog
all over DC. You don't know about the fog?
No, what's going on with the fog? What the hell?
Tim, look out your window. You didn't notice driving to work today that there's a fog everywhere? Like, look out your window right now and tell me if you don't see a fog.
I don't, because my windows are all closed. I don't see a fog, man. Really?
Tim, there's a fog over DC for 2 days. We got smoke everywhere. There's smoke coming out of Canada.
Is that
you didn't know that? There's like air quality alerts, everything.
Oh, shit.
Tim works too much.
You know what? I get in the office and I am like drilled down.
Tim, ask Jenna if she knows about the fog.
Jenna, you know about the fog? Jenna said, the what? What fog?
The fog. Tell her to look out the window and see if there's a fog.
I don't know where
Tim,
you're at.
there's a fog everywhere.
There's no fog. All right.
There is, I promise you. So let me read you this, and you tell me if one of these. I want you to tell me something stands out to you, okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Another potentially beautiful day in the DC area has been somewhat tainted by wildfire smoke wafting across the skies. Tuesday was one of a growing number of days this spring and now early summer that smoke has robbed the region of bright sunshine and blue skies, and at times lowered air quality and visibility. And the fire season is just getting started.
Where's this fire coming from, man? Where's the smoke coming from?
But I want to ask you a quick question. Did anything stand out in that paragraph?
I mean, you tell me.
I picked up on this line at the end. The fire season is just getting started.
Whoa, that is a little challenging. Okay, I got to give you.
So what I'm saying is I'm 45.
Yeah.
I just celebrated a birthday recently.
You did. And you know what that makes you, right?
Well, it makes me an official lifelong DC resident that can claim like official status, okay? I've never heard of wildfire season, Tim. Have you heard of wildfire season?
I have never heard of wildfire season.
I mean,
did you?
I don't even know there's no such thing as wildfire season on the East Coast. There's no wildfire season in Maryland or DC. That's not real.
Sure. I guess there is now. What the hell?
Well, so about a month ago, I don't know if you remember this. Like, I have three different weather apps on my phone for boating and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was getting all these alerts for like wildfire, high wildfire alert, because it was like early April. It hadn't rained in a week, and it was like windy or something.
Sure.
And they were talking about like for days and days and days, like this wildfire alert. I'm like, we don't have wildfires in Maryland. What are you talking about? Are you aware of this? I feel like we're going into another matrix here, Tim, with like the COVID thing or whatever. Like, we're not in a wildfire season. And I'm telling you, Tim, if you go outside, you're going to see like the entire
I can't wait to get outside. I'm ready to go, man. I'm serious.
Just look out your window, man. The whole thing is covered in smoke.
I'm going to look. Give me 1 second. I'll open the door. All right.
Tell me I'm not lying, Tim.
Well, it's a little foggy. I mean,
it's not fog. It's smoke from Canada.
Jeez. What are those Canadians?
The wildfire season, Tim.
What are the Canadians trying to do to us now? What the hell? Speaking of wildfires, what is going on with the Fed? Come on, man. Let's get back into business, brother.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in reality, because they're telling me we're in wildfire season, and I'm like, I don't know about no wildfire season. I've never heard of that before.
It's a first, man.
So I wanted to check with Tim without saying anything before we got on here, and I was correct. There's no such thing as wildfire season. So don't fall for it. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, guys. All right. So Tim.
So what do you think?
I was making the joke that the freaking real estate market is so hot in Canada, it's blowing smoke across the
I like that, man.
I knew you would like that.
That Canada's on fire. Their real estate is selling like it's going up. But isn't that the same thing here?
Yeah. I mean, what's going on? So apparently there's also wildfires in New Jersey. Do you remember like all the Jersey wildfires from the 80s?
I do. I remember the marsh fire. No. Dude, remember, come on. I was in business back in the 80s.
I don't know nothing about no wildfires from Jersey. They make it out like it happens every year, like we're in California. It's not California, people, and we're not crazy over here. So don't try to sell us this whole thing.
Right.
So, Tim, what's going on, man?
Dude, it's crazy. You know, I'm watching and reading all this craziness, and the Feds are talking about raising the rates again next week.
Yeah,
And
how
what they're saying is
exciting.
the economy is still on fire. We're not in a recession. Everything is going strong.
I
All
thought
this
we were in a
news.
hidden recession. Everybody says that, oh, we're not in a recession, but then the people says we are in a recession. The government just won't admit it. Now you're saying the people are saying we're in a recession, but we're not in a recession.
So let me ask you this, Brian, and I'll define it this way. The government has redefined what a recession is,
Yeah,
right?
I know that.
In order to make everything look rosy because we've got a political contest coming up. And we
No,
don't
yeah,
want
they
to
did that last year.
we don't want to freak everybody out, right? So what's happening now? My definition of a recession is I go to the grocery store, get my normal basket of groceries that normally run me $150, and they cost me $300. That's a recession. My normal recession is I get a box of cereal, and normally it said 32 ounces, and the box had a unique shape. And then I'm looking down the thing, and the box is smaller. Actually, it's not. This is kind of crazy. You ready? It's not smaller in height and width. It's narrower. What the
Yeah.
hell, Brian? Smoke, and that's
They're
what we call
tricksters, Tim. They're trying to
smoke and
trick us. I'm
mirrors.
telling you. You got to
Smoke
be
and mirrors.
careful, man. You got to pay attention. That's why we got to stick together because they're trying to trick us. They're
Amen
changing
to
all
that
the
one, man.
rules, and we have to stick together and we have to be alert. They're shrinking the cereal boxes and they're telling us there's a smoke season or a fire season.
Smoke and mirrors, Brian.
I
That's
got a
all it
window
is,
right
man.
here and it's freaking me out, man. There's like smoke everywhere.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's wild, man. I really don't see it. So it's foggy. It's overcast. It's
It's
smog.
not. That's not fog, Tim. It's smoke. So anyway,
Yeah.
so what's going on in your and what are you seeing in the marketplace, Tim?
I'm honestly, Brian, I mean, I thought we were going to see a slowdown. I thought the rates going up was going to hold things back. Rates are going up. We hit sevens the other day. I was excited to see that because, seven's God's number. I'm like, okay, maybe that's a plus. Maybe that's a win-win. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not slowing down, Brian. It's still going. Now
You know what happens when they raise rates generally, though?
What happens?
These are like rhetorical questions. Oh, no, they're not. They're questions that these are
Typically,
softball questions, Tim.
And things should be slowing down, right?
Well, whenever they raise rates, people always jump out and buy a house because they're freaking out because they want to get the rate, right? Because like I have some clients I'm taking out this weekend,
Right.
and they're 80% there, but
Sure.
they're not quite in the pocket. They're not quite in the
They're not gonna
reality
do it
of
now.
what they got to do to win.
Yeah.
So what
And
happened
rate
is
8 or 9%. What's
you
going to happen?
call them up and say, hey, they're getting ready to raise interest rates, then bump it up another 10%. Now they're at 90%.
Wow.
So that's what I think is going to happen. But the problem is everybody else does the same thing. They're all freaking out. They're trying to get their house in before rates go up, before, July 4th is kind of like you better get your house by July 4th. Otherwise, the market slows down a lot, and a lot of houses are not coming on the market. Like you figure you're in the procrastinator crowd right now. Like a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I'm going to be on the market April 1st.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get over there and you see their house, and you're like, all right, let's go ahead and get this stuff done. Then it's like May 1st, May 15th, May 3rd. It's like, come on, guys. Let's go. So now we're in procrastinator people. You know what I mean?
We're also seeing a lot of people moving in from other areas into our marketplace. They're coming up. They're working in Pax River. They're working. I mean, we are a great employment center. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
And
that's always been the case. There's like a lot of transient government workers that come in and out. But they actually stay a while. They're not here for 6 months. They're here for like 6 or 10 years.
It is, and a lot of people stay. I mean, they realize that the quality of life is a lot of fun, other than the smoke we have right now in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying we're in fire season right now, so it's like you have to learn to live with this. If you want to come to D.C., we have a fire season now, apparently.
I think the whole East Coast.
You need to be aware of that. Like, we need to do 10 things to know about moving to D.C.
Man,
what is something that people would not know about D.C. if they were coming here, Tim? Like, what's your tip for someone coming from Utah and it's like, oh, you didn't know this about living in D.C.?
Well, be aware we have a fire season.
Fire season, see? Yeah, you ought to know that. You thought you were getting away from it, but you're not.
No, that is pretty wild, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is unreal.
It's freaking me out today, Tim. I'm telling you.
It
I
is
feel
freaky.
like they're trying to
Tell you
pull
that.
another thing on me. Like I just got done watching this whole thing about people wearing masks in their car
Yeah,
and
what's that all about?
outside, and that was
Yeah,
in my head before I got down here. And now I'm reading about the fire scene. Do you wear your mask in your car, Tim?
dude, I don't wear a mask.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I'm
wh-
just saying. I still see it. I
who am
saw
I
it yesterday
protecting?
in the
Yeah,
store, and I was in Costco. There's still like a 20% of people masking it in Costco, and I get it. You're in a like a very like busy area, but it
sure.
still freaks me out when you're outside or in your own car.
Well,
So, Tim,
yeah.
if anybody has any anxiety about the real estate market, what are you going to tell them?
I mean, here I'm going to tell them really three things. Okay, so number one, everybody's freaked about values. Brian, values aren't going down, man. I mean,
Sure.
values every month going up. You
Yeah.
know, the demand is there, multiple contracts. So don't freak out that you're making an investment that's going to go downhill. This is not 2007, 2008. So values are going to be strong, number one. Number two, you buy a house with the whole strategy of building equity now so that down the road you're going to refinance, right?
Well, I don't
Yeah.
say that, Tim, because you don't know that for 100% fact. You don't
No, we
know.
don't, but based on being in a recession, based on the Federal Reserve's input as far as the banking crisis, based on the overall presidential election,
Yeah.
historically rates have come down. So that's
Right.
kind of what we're betting on, right? That's number two. Number three, look, okay, you wait now. We're at 7%, okay, and you're like, I'm gonna wait till rates get to 5, right? And that's a year from now or 2 years from now. What happens to the
They're
value,
never.
Brian? The value went up another 10%. You lost. You didn't
You know
win.
what's going to save the housing crisis, Tim? It's going to take a couple years, but do you know what it's going to be?
What's that?
Do you know what's the biggest threat to our economy long term? So this is like Jeopardy today for you, Tim.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
like this.
saying?
Yeah, I'm not doing well, man. Brian, can I have Jeopardy for 100,
I'm
please?
just saying, long term threat to our economy. You know this, Tim. You just need your coffee today. Long term threat, like 50 years. What's long term threat to our economy? It's actually global. It's a global issue.
Are you talking about
Very
the wildfires?
no. Talking about babies.
Oh yeah, that is a huge issue. Yeah,
So
yeah.
eventually, what'll happen?
Depopulation, right?
Depopulation. That's going to bring house prices
Exactly.
down. There's
Ex-
less people because all the older people are going to eventually move on,
They're gonna
and then
retire.
there's not enough kids to buy their houses,
Yep.
and it'll be like Japan where they'll offer you a house for free if
Yep.
you live 45 minutes outside of the city.
Yep. Can you believe that, Brian? I did
Yeah,
see that article the other day. It is insane.
yeah.
And in fact, they're closing down the child care centers. They're closing down a number of places. It is freaking nuts. So you're right about that. It is crazy.
So that's all. So if you really want to wait, all you need to do is wait for the population
So
of people
20
to
to
die
20 to
off.
30 years from now, yeah, it's a win-win, right?
So how long do you plan on living? That's the question, and your quality of life in the meantime. But other than that, if you wait long enough,
Yeah.
you should probably be able to find yourself a house. There will be a buyer's market eventually.
Well, and right now I saw an article the other day and they said the buyer's market will be in 3 years.
What's going to cause that?
So
They're
they
not
said
building any houses, so
no, but they said based on the
then
projected number of baby boomers retiring and the retirement, we will hit the peak of retirement in 3 years, which at point people will be moving away from
Maryland fog.
the wildfire
They're
season,
going down
right?
to Florida. You know why? Because they don't have wildfires down there.
But they do have a hurricane season, so it's kind
Yeah,
of
but that's not a big deal.
no.
That's what you got a homeowner's
So,
insurance
so
for.
the whole idea is that we will see a massive shift, a massive migration of seniors moving out. At that point in time, they
Florida.
will have secured their retirement, secured their equity in their house, and they're ready to go. And they said 3 years is when we will hit the peak, the pinnacle of retirement stage of people moving.
If 3 years is the peak, that means we're close to the peak right now, and it's
No, it
not
means it's
happening,
just
Tim.
starting.
I don't. I mean,
People,
think about it, Tim. It's not like
um,
that many people are that exact age, and 3 years is going to be it.
no, but what they said that's what they called the peak, and what they basically said was they said the pandemic has shifted the overall perspective of retirees. You know that they're basically closing things down now that they're forcing people to go back to work. They're saying, yeah, a lot of retirees are like, I was kind of riding the wave because I could work from home, right, and maximize my return that way. I
Yeah,
get
but
it.
I just don't. I don't feel like 3 years is like some like nothing happens on January 1st that says we're all moving. Like, it seems like if you're going to say it's a peak, we would be right near the peak right now. We're only 3 years away. You would see it happening right now.
Well, originally we were looking at it from a perspective of Social Security, and now the Social Security is bumped up to 67. In 3 years, that's when that peak arrives. I mean, it's just an article I read, man. It's kind
You
of
got to
cool
be 67 to get your Social Security now?
No, 62 and a half. But you get 100% at 67, and it goes up. You hit into the 70s, you make an amazing more in the retirement because Social Security is betting that you're not going to live. Now, my goal, I want to hit 107. That's my goal. Hey, I got a goal, man. All right, what's your goal to live to? Come on, man. Come on now.
All right, Tim, you're going to be mad at me for saying this. It says in the Bible that it's appointed to man to live how many years?
107. That's why I picked that number, man.
No, I think it was like 70.
70, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's my answer.
Perspective, yeah.
Now, again, I'm going to feel differently when I get there.
Yeah.
But I feel like after 70, you're playing with the house's money.
Okay, here's the deal. My dad passed away in November, 92 and a half.
I know, but here's my thing, Tim. If you plan on living to 70, that makes your life at 45 like, wow, I got 25 left.
But here's the key.
We need to game plan this. We cannot live like we got till 107. But I think it makes your life more enriched.
Okay, but I will tell you 70 is now the new 50. Right?
It's not.
No perspective, man. Come on, brother. Come on.
It's not.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. So how are things going, dude? Things are going as best, ready, as I can put my mind to it. It's focus, it's attitude, it's commitment. It's all your perspective, Brian. It's all based on the matrix and the wildfire season.
And they're getting ready to raise rates. So
yeah, baby. But does it have any impact on the market, Brian?
It hasn't so far. And we got all the way. We got past 7 in November. And then it came back down. Now we're back up over 7 again.
Back over 7 again. And you know what we're shooting for? 8.
Well, you and I did a podcast last. We're probably coming up on a year of when we started our very first. We haven't done them consistently until more recently. But we talked about 10% interest rates and 8 and 9% interest rates this year. Yep. We talked about 7 and 8 this year, 8 and 9 next year, and 10 the year after in one of those predictions from like mint.com or something like that. So we're actually seeing that.
It's coming, Brian. It's happening.
10% is coming?
I don't think so. I really don't. I really don't think that's good because that would be the government trying to shut us down.
They're already doing that.
Yeah, it's a little rough right now.
They are. They're trying to contract the amount of lending in order to like make the value of the dollar go up.
Well, they're trying to contract the cash flow. That's all it is. You're right on the money. Man, it makes sense. It really does. Now, Brian, I'm not worried about, man. We're just going to keep moving forward because, at the end of the day,
Tim, we can't live to 107 in the smoke anyway. So what I'm saying is you gotta live like you're only going to 70. Wear your mask for the smoke and
you'll be fine.
And you'll be fine, right?
All right.
Don't come to DC unless you're ready for the fire seasons.
Hey, I'm ready. All I know is, you know what? I got so much opportunity. Maryland is like the little U.S. We got everything, Brian.
We do. That's true.
You got the ocean, you got the mountains, right?
That's true.
You got the lakes.
You got the Chesapeake Bay, and where's the desert? Not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Now we don't really have the desert.
But we do have people from all over the country living here as well, so it is a nice little.
I think we should sing "God Bless America." You ready, Brian?
I'm gonna go ahead and let you do that, and then we're gonna sign off. Tim, we're at 19 minutes and 17 seconds.
Good to see you there. Always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, man. Till next time.